and welcome back to How to Be Real, a place where we can be real in a world obsessed with fake.
Mhm.
I am Tasha B. I'm an actor, a filmmaker, and creator who is gaining clarity. I'm on
Yes.
that path right now.
yes. And I'm Tay, and I am a lover of all things wellness, a creative producer, and your favorite local yogi.
And after that's out the way, I say, how you doing, Tay?
Girl, I'm doing good. I feel good. I feel like I feel pretty balanced right now. I feel like I've been I don't know, exploring my feelings a lot lately. You know what I mean? Like trying to sit in them a little bit more.
Mhm.
And I think it's beneficial. It's been beneficial allowing me to feel balance, So at least today, we'll check in tomorrow and see,
Love, right?
and see how it goes.
Ebbs and flows.
Yes, exactly. What about you? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Like I said, gaining clarity on things. Just in moments where you feel like nothing is enough.
Yeah.
And there's always more to do. Taking the time to actually find focus in that, because otherwise, what are you doing? So that's been my main thing. Like, focus that energy somewhere productive, constructive, or at least like fun.
Right. How do I transmute this energy
Right.
somewhere
that's
into something?
Right, that's not a spiral.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the more,
circular shape,
comfortable side of things.
Yes.
Yeah,
relatable for sure.
But yes, that'll bring us to our shout out.
Shout out.
And this isn't really a particular person, but just shouting out that for the first time in the history of the Olympics has been around for a very long time.
So long.
Like a very, very long time. And for the first time, the women athletes will outnumber the men.
Woo! I heard that.
This 2026 Summer Games, the ratio will be 50.7% female and 49.3% male.
Yo.
Crazy.
Because
I know there was a time when women were not. No, there definitely was a time where women were not allowed at all.
Yeah. Because I remember the last Olympic Games that happened, they were making a huge deal about how it was 50-50. Like, it was like, wow, this, for the first time ever, it's 50-50, and now surpassed. Whoa. And also, too, I feel like, when was the last Olympics? Wasn't that recent?
Well, they do winter and then they do summer.
Okay.
So the Summer Olympics is coming. I want to say it's supposed to be in the United States. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Isn't it supposed to be in like LA or
That's
something?
What I think. I think so. Which
Wow.
is nuts, because what are you... Anyway.
Where are all those people supposed to go?
Are they going to want to come?
Oh, that too.
End up being like, we're not going there.
Yo, I didn't even think about that.
Because it's not till next summer. So I'm just wondering. I really hope we... revolt in time.
Right.
So the Summer Games can be here, because that's dope. But yeah.
Wow. Well, shout out to all those women, though.
Shout out to all the women.
Hey.
For real. This is cool.
Killing it. Proud of y'all.
And it just feels good.
It does.
Especially in times like this, because, you need that.
Got to take our wins
out there.
Yeah. Okay.
But that'll transition us to our three realists.
Yes.
And of course, you're under a rock if you haven't heard about this movie we are about to do our three realists on. Sinners. Oh my gosh. I want to start by saying, like, this is a movie, and I don't say this often, that it is worth the hype. It's a lot of hype. It's a lot. I will say that. It is their marketing is marketing. But it is like, I'm like, when people are like, this movie's so good, it is. It's original. You don't know what you're getting, and it's good.
It really is. I've been seeing so many celebs like just randomly post about it too. I'm like,
this movie is so good. This was so good.
Like Tom Cruise, Kevin Bacon.
And then the story behind it also seems just like a big splash because of the deal that Ryan Coogler got with this studio. Like,
yes.
Part of the box office.
What?
He gets that?
And was it
his original film that he wrote is just really cool. It's just a really, really cool thing for all filmmakers, and then for it to be, Ryan Coogler, it just makes it even more.
Black man from Oakland, like just doing his thing. He's young. He's like what, 38?
Yeah.
Like that's just.
And in this time, bro, like in this time to see these things, like this is. Like, yeah.
And like when we were younger, we didn't have somebody to look at like that. You know what I mean? I mean, there was a few, like
there was like John Singleton for sure,
Spike Lee, and but things like that. But
this is our adult generation's version of that. Like he's kind of taken the, like I think Denzel has told him, like, the future is in good hands with you. Like he feels good being like, oh, I could retire because this man has grabbed the torch and is, thinking ownership. And it's also just really cool as someone who wants to make their own projects and has friends that make their own stuff. It's also just really inspiring for us to see him write his own original story, sell it, and still hold profits, and then in 25 years he'll own it.
Come on. That's just, like a major deal, a deal that has never been seen.
It's a classic movie.
Like, and for that, the one you did the major deal on, for it to be the hit that it is
amazing.
Come on.
Like we're supporting him.
Yeah.
The film and him. So yes, the story is amazing, but the movie is also very high quality. Anyway, all that to say, we're going to just talk about our three realist, I don't know, just the three realist things about the movie.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Go first? I got you. Yes.
Talk about this movie all day.
I don't know. Literally.
Also, spoiler alert. Please skip the three realists if you have not seen Sinners and plan to see it and don't want to hear the spoilers. So
yeah.
Fast forward.
And hurry up and go see the movie.
And yes, please see the movie.
Because come on, it's been out for a little bit. Go see it.
It's worth it. If you're wondering, if you're holding out for that, go ahead.
Worth it.
Take this as your sign. But yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
First take.
Let's dive in. All right. So first favorite thing. When Annie says that everyone is a vampire, when she calls it, she's like, they're a hate or a vampire. She's like, oh, there ain't no hate. They're a vampire. But at the very, very beginning where she just said they are
I know what we're dealing with.
Yeah, I know what we're dealing with.
This is what it is.
When she said that and everybody just was like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? When they just... didn't fight her.
I love that it's so realistic because wouldn't anybody do that? If you just seen some shit that you ain't never seen before.
Never.
And one person is like, ooh, I know what that is. That's a this.
Y'all. I know exactly what that is.
I would be like, what? Okay, so what is that? What do we do? Like, thank God. Somebody knows something.
Please. Thank you. And she's the one who's like super into hoodoo. She's very tapped in. You know what I mean? She's like the expert.
Very spiritual.
And so nobody questioned the expert. They all were like, yup, what else? Tell us more. How do we fight
right.
it?
Like, what should we do? We all looking at you now.
Yeah.
Okay, girl, what?
Right.
Eat garlic?
Say
Everybody
less.
do it.
Say less. And then when the girl was trying to act like she wasn't about to eat that garlic, I was like, girl.
I was done with her. I was like, shoot her. Throw her outside.
Throw her outside now.
She a hate.
She a hate.
She turned.
I loved that because I feel like it's a lot of the time the person who knows be getting questioned and it extends oh my gosh, it extends the death roll or it adds to the death count.
Yes. Immediately almost.
Immediately.
Like, they were outside. Bow, you dead.
Exactly.
Stop it. But I like, that's also realistic because a lot of the times, depending on who's saying it, someone will hear you be like, oh, that's a vampire. They're like, what? Vampires ain't real. And they walk outside, get got. And now everyone just saw that and they're like, oh my God, you're right.
Yep.
Some people need that. Some people need to see to believe. Some things I feel like if you feel it,
go with it.
Please go with it.
Go with it.
Anyway,
and they also let her like kind of take the lead in that too. Like when Cornbread was at the door and he was like, hey, can I come in? And she was the first one to be like, your big ass done come in and out of this whole place all damn day. Why do you need us to tell you you can come in?
You're the door person.
You're the door person.
You're the door security. You've been turning people away. Why are you now asking to come in?
And again, everybody immediately was like, yeah, why are you? You know what I mean? Like, so loved that.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed that.
Started talking all weird and it was like, oh yeah. We're supposed to be being kind to each other. That was like,
what? You don't talk like that.
That ain't you. We didn't even know Cornbread, okay?
Right.
We, as the viewers, we don't know him like that. He got picked up, brought to the juke, and told to watch the door. That's as much as we know about Cornbread.
But I still know you don't talk like that.
No, you do not talk like that.
Yes.
I know that ain't you.
I know that ain't you. Stop. Okay, so my second favorite thing, my second realest thing, was when Delta Slim and them was driving in the car on their way to the juke.
I'm glad I put more than 3 because I was definitely gonna say that.
That was, oh my gosh, when he's telling the story about his people, his homies that he knew in the chain gang that they had just drove by, and he just gets so overwhelmed with emotion, and he immediately starts like, at first he's kind of like grunting like with passion and sadness, you know, and then he turns it into a hum.
Yeah, he hits his leg.
Yes.
And then he finds a rhythm with the hitting his leg and starts kind of humming.
And then bro starts playing the guitar in the back, and it just turns into, you see the blues happening before your eyes.
I don't think he played the guitar. I think Michael B. Jordan was like,
hit it.
Yeah, you got the guitar in your hand.
Yeah, because he started like humming. He started humming a tune.
Yeah, because I seen a clip of Delroy Lindo talking about that scene, and he said it wasn't in the script, him breaking into song like that, and he said that's why the dude who played Sammy, it was his first. This is like his first movie role,
right?
And so he's not as seasoned as an actor. So he said when he started doing that, he said Michael B. Jordan knew to kind of just go with it and so that's why he said, you got that guitar in your hand, don't you? Wow. And he said the young boy didn't know, that's why he didn't play the guitar. Like, I think he was tapping it or something, but he just kind of was like, oh yeah. The scene ended.
Wow. See,
yeah,
that's how you know.
He's a top tier actor. So him
effing tier, bro.
Making that was just such a beautiful moment, and it was
Truly.
A great precursor of what we were gonna see. Like,
yes,
it fits so perfect.
It did. And just like a visual representation of what the blues has been created for and made from, and it was one of those goosebumps moments, you know.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, and then my last one was I loved that there was so much female pleasure.
Girl, yeah.
I was like, okay, there was not one D that was sucked. You know what I mean? Or even, I was gonna say touched, but no, I think one got touched. But like, but it was just like there was a lot of female pleasure, like front and center. Yeah. Not like them just kind of playing around, pussyfooting around.
Literally, somebody telling somebody how to do it right.
Literally, like the vampire said, how do I say I need to pleasure you in Chinese?
Oh my God.
Because I'm gonna have your vampire husband say it to you. You feel me? Like, I'm like, damn, okay. Like,
no, that wasn't her husband that said that. That was the white man, I think, that said that to her.
Oh, right.
In, I don't know, it was Mandarin or Cantonese, but in her language.
That's right.
He said that to her.
That's right.
And that's what had her like, oh my God. And I think he also was like, we're going to also find your daughter. Like, said her daughter's name. Like, oh yeah, don't make me go over here with her. See what she has to say.
Crazy.
Cray. But yeah,
she crazy.
That wasn't even her husband that said that. That was
wow. But see, scary. And that adds on to another level too. It ain't even your man that talking like that.
Okay.
Like,
scary.
I really enjoyed that, especially like in a movie like that. It just was like, okay, cool. Like I just don't feel like you see it all like that. Done in that way.
No, you don't. Not front and center like that. Usually it's the other way around.
Exactly. And it wasn't like they were being portrayed as like whores for liking it or doing it or anything like that. It was like, it was a natural, wanted, everything was consensual type of situation.
Even though homegirl was cheating on her husband.
I know, little wench. No.
I mean, I'm just saying.
She did die, but you know, hey. I know. I didn't want her to die, to be honest.
A lot of people saying, like, my husband was like, see what happens when you cheat on your husband? I was like, right. Brutal.
Like, oh, okay.
Brutal murder.
Right.
A great night that ends in your death.
And yeah, a very gory one, too. But yeah, I mean, again, like you said, could go on, but I'd be very interested to know, what are your three realists of Sinners?
Number one is the scene where Sammy is singing and playing his guitar.
Oh yeah.
And all of those, like, it was like some ancestors, different tribal people dancing. And then it like a DJ with a turntable popped up and he was, and then like some little rap was playing, and Sammy was singing, and they put kind of like some metro drums under him singing, and they showed some girls twerking. It was like all these generations, and they even had like some Chinese dancers dancing. People swinging, like all different generations, all in this juke joint, just dancing. And it was just so beautiful, like a big continuous wrap around, up and down shot. And it was so cool. Especially, I liked when they cut to like, they filmed all inside the juke joint. And then, I don't know, I guess I had to move the building that the juke joint was in. Because then remember when it cut to the outside and there was no building? And you could just see all the people.
On fire around it, kind of.
Was it on fire?
Or like the
no, it was like it was during this scene. Right after they showed the inside, they went to the outside, and the outside when Ramek and the vampires were looking at it, there was no walls. They could see directly into. So the whole party was going on, but there was no building, so they could just see them. And was it on fire?
I think just the perimeter, like the floor part, like around it was on fire.
Okay.
But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
so he was seeing that and he could see everyone. I loved all of that. That was just like, oh my God. And his eyes lit up all red, like, yeah, we need him.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Which is crazy. Yeah, the visual was insane, bro.
Shot beautifully. But I really liked that whole scene. Just what it stood for, how beautiful it was. And you can really tell, that picture. Have you ever watched Good Times? In that picture?
Yeah.
They say that's the juke joint. That was like the, on the
inspo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The visuals of it.
And they did a really great job.
Such a good job.
Bro.
They did such a good job. Like, I was like, this is definitely, I feel like I'm in that picture right now.
Yes.
So cool.
Like, this is what was going on in that picture. Like, for sure.
Favorite scene. That was my favorite scene. The next one is when the natives come to the door at the beginning. And they're like, ma'am, this man is so dangerous. Did he come in your house? Like, you should really be careful because he is like not who you think he is. And she has her shotgun, which is, probably normal for around that time. She answered the door like that. But when he said that, and she was like, no one came in. And then he saw that
the
KKK hood, and he was like, oh, yeah, all right. Let's go. Sun's going down.
Right. Bro behind him was like, hey, it's time to go. In their language, they was like,
we gotta get the heck out of here. Let's not even get involved.
They don't appreciate our saving anyways.
And so we didn't see them for the rest of the film.
We really didn't. They said,
and I appreciated that because I really am just like, they went and did what they know to do. Again, what you said, listening to the person that knows.
Hello. No fighting back. Just being like,
you just let a stranger in your house. Someone immediately comes and is like,
where they at?
Hey, and didn't he say something like hide me or something? I don't know.
He did. He was trying to make it seem like the Native Americans were like attacking him and after him.
Yeah. Easy for her to believe, I'm sure. He probably saw the hood and was like, oh, if I say that, she's gonna go with she doesn't like them. I could tell how she thinks.
He tried to play on their racist nature.
And it worked. Lord. And then they immediately got what they deserved.
For real. She came back
real swift.
Her man and her baby was done for. Crazy.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, so I had that Slim scene that you were talking about.
Yep. It's a good one.
But another one that I have is at the end when Smoke kills that last Klansman that was coming to kill him after he gave him that money for the anyway.
Ooh.
When he's dying, he sees Annie and the baby that they lost, and she's like, "Oh, if you put your cigarette out, you can hold the baby." And so he puts his cigarette out, and right as he goes to reach for the baby, that the white man is like, I have some money, I could give you some money. He turns, picks up the gun, shoots that dude, and then goes to reach for the baby again, and then it's like back to this peaceful moment of him and his baby.
Yes.
And at the end, like at that point, so much has happened that when he does that, you're like, period. You've been hearing that, I got money. And it's just like, bro.
If you just would have not said anything, just shut the hell up,
you probably would have survived.
But definitely
even in
would have
this
survived.
moment of you see this man in his last moments, you want to try to talk to me and steal.
Bye.
I'm not spending these moments with you. Goodbye. I'm
Right.
over here now.
And do you feel like you trying to offer me money and I just bought this whole juke joint?
And I'm literally finna die. Like, I gave you heck of money and bought this juke joint, and now you're offering me money to let you live even though you came to kill me?
What?
And
Make that make sense.
And I'm already dying.
Exactly.
Are you?
You're that oblivious. You lost in your own stupidity.
And just like that. Bam.
Yeah, exactly.
What is going on?
I loved how prepared they were too. They said, "Do we need to go to the trunk? Do we want to get to?"
Bro, the guns they had in that trunk.
Okay. They had the automatic before it was automatic.
Right. Like, dang, they had military weapons in that damn
They
trunk.
had the Michael Corleone takedown weapons.
God, they knew what they were doing, and they knew they would need it.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about that, like, they could have. It would have been a different story had them vampires not came. They would have been wrecked.
Yep. It would have been over. Done.
They would have shrunk the clan population in their little town.
Dead ass.
But yeah, I have a bonus of just saying, I really loved how the theme, one of the themes being that, like, you know, Black culture and even just deep cultural experiences and, you know, the culture we've created here is so potent and so dope that people want it.
Yes.
They want it.
I know that was such a deep-rooted piece in that movie from Remick.
That, and it's like the whole thing, if you look at it from the culture perspective, is like these vampires want to come in and they want to take this and use it for themselves. Profit. It's like you could see that in our society. Like, that is what happens. They take your cultural things and then they try to sell it back to you.
Yep. Repackaged, repurposed, all the shit.
And then hate you.
Yes.
It's crazy, this system.
It's crazy. Like that one that one quote from Dwight from The Office. This is super random. But how he was like, I know how to make a business successful. You have to get Black people to do it.
Yep.
And then you take that back once it gets popular, because once Black people do it, white people want to do it. And then you make it so Black people no longer have access to it and don't do it anymore. And then it's just white people doing it. Yep. And then it's successful. And that was like, damn, I know that this is a funny show, but also,
it's so true. Like, there's a reason why it's funny, because that is absolutely how stuff happens. We see that. Ooh.
And that's why Remick didn't want to go down there to the white little
I know, because they were like, there's plenty. Go up the street. You'll literally be welcome to anywhere. This is the one place we have for just us to do what we want to do without trouble.
Yep.
We don't want trouble. We're over here trying to do us.
He's like, I don't want them. I want y'all. Y'all got the cool shit. Y'all over here singing your hearts out. Listen to us. We can sing too.
The best part is their song was actually like kind of
they was eating.
It was kind of good, but you're also like, I think they did a good job with the song of making it like good, but also like a little bit scary too.
Yes.
But it wasn't like a bad song. It's like a song you would listen to the whole of it. If someone came and just started performing it, like, oh, dang. Okay.
Even I think Smoke said at one point, like, they sound good.
Right. Like they do sound good. Like, honestly. But no.
And it was just so funny how Remick kept trying to be down. Like, he kept trying to be.
And he said some, things.
He did.
Like what he said about church.
Ooh,
when he started reciting that Bible verse.
Ooh. Ooh, I know.
I'm afraid he ate. Because I was like, yeah.
Yep. And yeah, it was.
You said some real stuff, but you did have to die.
Right.
Again, spoilers. Sorry.
Right. So good. Such a great movie. So many things. I could think of so much more.
Yeah.
Like
we could do. Yeah. I can't wait to see it again. That's like.
Same.
I don't feel like that about a lot of movies, but this one is one of them.
For sure. You did your big one, Michael B. and Ryan Coog.
I know. Playing your own twin.
Crazy.
You did a really good job.
And One Me and what's her name? Haley. Y'all all just.
I knew he did good at the twin thing when I was thinking like, oh, okay, see, I would like Smoke. Stack is a little wild. I think I would be going for Smoke. But you're like, it's both the same
dude.
The same person. But I literally was like, yeah, I like smoke better. That's how good he did.
Yeah.
There's a clear delineation between those two people.
Would you have been a vampire with smoke the rest of your life?
Hell no, I don't want to be no vampire. What? No. Heck no.
You would have taken the Annie route? I mean, yeah, the Annie route where she was like, if I turn, kill me. Kill me.
Especially
release my soul.
She had her baby. It's like, I do not. Please let me rest.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Here? No. Again, go see Sinners if you have not. And yeah, let us know what you think if you have seen it.
Yeah.
What a great movie.
It's so good.
And that'll transition us to our weekly reel.
Ooh.
Which is, the difference between aging and growing up. Because we know, some people grow up and mature and some people just get older.
Okay. And there is a difference.
And there's a major.
There is a difference. Aging is inevitable. Growth is intentional.
We all know somebody, or maybe we were somebody who was not matured and had to have a few grow up moments.
Like, act your age. How old are you?
Act your age. What are you doing? We all had them sobering moments of like, ooh, I think I'm too old for this.
And some people never have that thought.
Ooh, or some people ignore the thought. The thought be beating them over the head. People might even tell them, "You too old to be doing all that." I don't. They reject that idea. They rebuke it.
Yes.
So yeah.
Don't be that.
Try not to be.
Try not to be.
You gotta take inventory. But for me, the more I learn about celebrities and even just people online, just random people online, whether it's an influencer or just someone just online, you'll see that so many people have stopped maturing, like mentally and emotionally.
Yes.
At like a young age. It's like you're acting like a 16-year-old. You're acting like, a 21-year-old or worse, 8-year-old. You're just like, dang, you keep doing the same old thing.
Yep. Keep hitting your head against that wall, huh? You just don't want to walk through the door. Just want to stay at that wall.
On a day-to-day, we all do that. We got our habits. They're hard to break. But some things, like the main thing, maybe we don't put everything out there. Like maybe everything isn't
something we share.
Something that needs to go public. Maybe not. Maybe. And that's just because maybe you feel like, but hey, maybe you like those consequences. For me, personally,
I do not.
I do not.
You know what's crazy is that, like, what I'm seeing online right now is that people who are like, they're calling them like realistic or realism influencers or creators or whatever, like basically people who have a 9-to-5 type job and just like they're not trying to record in the perfect aesthetic setting and all this stuff. They're just living their regular lives, being adults. You know what I mean? Like that type of content is like on the rise. Like people are more interested in seeing people be themselves and acting their age or being human. Because honestly, I take that back. I said acting your age. And I feel like that sometimes can be a little misconstrued. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because I think sometimes people try to say act your age in a way that's insulting. Like, oh, you dress too young or something like that.
Yeah.
Act your age. And I feel like I don't fully agree with that. But I think when I'm saying act your age, I'm more so saying like how we're speaking maturity wise. Like there's a level of maturity. You can still be goofy and silly and have fun and playful and all that stuff. But when it comes time to be real, when it comes time to like, make mature decisions or responsible decisions, you tap into that age. You know what I mean? Like your maturity age.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to clarify because I'm like, I don't want to make anybody feel like grow the fuck up because you're da 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 da.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think I'm with you on the whole maturity thing. Like I feel like it's like that. Like a lot of it really stems from like self accountability. It's like if you got it, like if you can't even be accountable,
what can you be?
You're not gonna be able to grow. Like something we were talking about earlier when you first got here before we started recording is you said something about this quote where it was someone that said, some things you have to take personally so that you can take stock of things.
Yes.
And at least consider your part, or maybe what you could do next time to have a better outcome for yourself. Like, you owe it to yourself to at least do that. And you don't have to totally blame yourself. That's actually unhealthy. Don't go that way. But you do want to consider, okay, where was I at in this? Mm-hmm. And how can I learn from where I was at?
Exactly.
Whether it's something to do, and maybe I did it right, maybe I didn't wrong, or maybe I just didn't like it. If you can't take accountability for you, then you're not going to be able to really look at yourself. And then it will feel like you don't have control over your life. You will feel like stuff's just happening to you.
Ooh, talk about it.
Is what it feels like. If
Ooh, girl, you done hit something there. That is a cycle, honey. How many people do we know, personally, who get stuck in that cycle and always feel like victim mentality?
Girl, I've been there. Yeah. I've been there, wrote a script about it.
Yeah.
Gonna write a whole series about it, like working on it right now. Because that was such a pivotal time in my life of doing that. Wow. And it sucks at first.
Yeah.
Because you're not used to doing it. And then you're looking at yourself and you're just like, oh, I see stuff I don't like. And then it's easy to only see stuff you don't like. Yep. But then you do have to reach that point of like, okay, I gotta accept this. And then process whatever that means. Accept it, whatever it means, however long it takes. Because I'm radical acceptance.
There you go. Yes, because I'm like,
radically accept that you be fucking up. You do. You have. Okay, you have. You've done it. You messed up. It's okay. You didn't like that. That was terrible.
Yeah.
Don't act like it wasn't. It was. Own it and be like, okay, not that again.
Yeah, can't go back there. Not that again. Because I was gonna ask you, like, how do you know, like, the feeling of like being ready to level the fuck up, like being ready to move, to break that, to get out of that cycle and be like, hey, you know what? I am ready for my emotional age to have a birthday.
Like, sometimes you never get there, and life kind of puts you there. Like, life gets so unbearable that you're like, I have to do something. Like, life will push you to that point of like, okay, you only do things when you feel you have no choice. Okay, girl.
Then guess what?
You have no choice.
You're always going to feel like you have no fucking choice.
You're going to be in this cycle until you can't take it anymore. Girl. And then you're going to be like, oh my God, I have to do something else. Or life changes so radically that something's taken away or whatever. Sometimes life happens to you. And for me, that's kind of what it was. I was just like, gosh, one day it was like, I am unhappy. Like, I think I smoked and I was just like, I do not like my life. Like, I was all my social media stuff, all the like, I hate my life, or FML. Remember when FML? I was so relating to the FML. He was
like, FML, all caps.
Oh my God, like that was my mentality. All the FML text grab, I was regramming that. Oh my God, I was heavy in the FML.
I'm sure some of them Facebook, Tumblr posts,
FML, Tumblr, like, oh my God, I was on there. Hey, FML, my God.
Them Facebook comments that you used to make, or the updates that you used to post on your wall, ever come back up and you're like, damn, what the fuck was I on? I was going through it.
Or you see it and you're like, this must be from 2013. You look,
yup,
makes sense.
That was that year.
That was that year. I was really FML. And then I don't know. At some point, I don't know if I was doing my hair, brushing my teeth, whatever. I looked in the mirror and was just like, yeah, I am unhappy.
Wow. And like, you're like,
tired, honey.
And it was to the point where he was like, I'm just so tired of being unhappy and tired of being in this that I have to try something else. The things that I've been trying just have not been, clearly aren't working.
Or not even trying, because at that point I wasn't trying anything. I really was just living and just going. Life was happening to me. Like, it didn't feel like conscious choices. Like, I want to do this. It wasn't even asking myself. It really was just like, they're hiring, I'll work here. You know what I mean?
I do need a check.
We're together. Okay, we're together.
Yes.
Stuff was just happening. And I wasn't choosing anything. And getting to that point of like, girl, oh my God. I did choose all of this though. Like, whether or not you knew,
I did.
I'm only here because
I made this choice.
But the first thing was I'm not happy. And then it was like, okay, well, why am I not happy? And then it was like my job and this, blah, 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 blah. And it was like, okay, well, you went through the training to be at this job for months,
for so long.
You know, you are here you applied here, you did the interviews, like you're here because of you. Like you walked into this and you keep walking in every day.
Yeah. Wow.
You're doing it to yourself, girl. It's you.
And just like we said at the beginning, in maturity or maturing is, or growing up is intentional growth. Intentional, having a reason as to why you're making a new choice.
Yeah.
Girl, you are saying it right now. You're making me remember why I chose.
You know, like we all have that moment. And
yes.
Probably, you know,
it was the bottom of the barrel moment. It was like
life is like
I can't go any lower right now.
Life is like you're like I can't take it. I can't take it. Like I have to like damn it all to hell. Yeah, I can't do any of it anymore.
The sliding down the wall moment,
right? Yes,
you're like,
please, God, please. That moment, that's the moment where you gonna get brought way down.
It's like the moment when, like, you know, when you're so turned that like you're at the toilet but you can't necessarily throw up yet, and you're like, God, I promise I will never get drunk ever again. I will never touch alcohol again a day of my life. It's like the real life, like active living version of that.
Yes, that reality.
Yeah,
that mood.
Yeah. That whole mood.
That energy all around you.
Exactly. That's the energy, is super drunk, sick, I'm spinning energy.
Suffering energy, for real, bro. But yeah, that for me, that was it. That was it.
You know, it's very interesting though that like we celebrate and like reward New Year, turning a new age, but we don't necessarily celebrate or really publicly acknowledge too much somebody's mental growth or mental maturity or age.
Man,
you know,
we're not our conversations aren't as open yet, because I mean, we know that conversations about somebody's actions, even let's just take like a, you know, hey, so why'd you do that? Even that can be an argument depending on who you ask.
True, girl, you ain't never lied. We know some.
You know, not everyone's there, and the conversation is still something that feels impolite to just get into. Unless, you know, you have that rapport.
Right.
I don't know. I just feel like I would love for those type of milestones to be more, I don't know, at the forefront. We need to talk about this stuff more, because I think there's a lot of content and vibes around like growth. And one thing I see about it is it's like tied to your job and your career and finances. And the best growth comes from within, and it does kind of, I don't know, bring that to you, that inner, you know, you can rise to that. But the main thing is the personal growth, you know, the internal growth, which you said, mental, emotional growth. It would be really cool to celebrate that. Right. You know, just that like, oh my gosh, I'm having a I radically accepted myself party. Yes. I love me now, guys.
Couldn't you?
And you just have a party.
So good? Yes.
It would feel good to go to a party like that for somebody.
It would.
Like, what? Look at you, girl.
Right.
You know, I'm bringing you a gift.
Yes, celebrating somebody who's like, who feels good about themselves, who like intentionally did the work to grow in this way. Like, yes.
Feeling lighter because of their, you know.
Right. What better time to celebrate someone and tell them you love them and all the things, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, I love a good birthday celebration. I'm thankful for every year that passes. But sometimes, I don't know, have you ever had a birthday where you just wasn't feeling it?
Yeah.
Where you're just like, I'd rather wait to celebrate till I feel good about myself.
Yeah. You know? I mean, especially as you get older, because those birthdays start to feel like, okay, girl. What? When?
Where are we?
When is it gonna happen? Yeah. Whatever it is, there's always that like, okay, so when? I thought by now, X, Y, Z. Like, but no, there's all those things, our expectations of things. And then, you know, things are not as easy for us in our 30s as it was for our parents in their 30s. Like I'm sure they had their difficulties as well, but like it feels like not just the economy, but also just the government. Like I asked my mom recently, I was like, has it in your lifetime, has it ever been like this? And she was like, no. I'm gonna just be real with you. No, we've never had a president like this.
Yeah, it's
not that we knew of.
Right. Not with all the information out in the open for us to know.
Like this. It was not the threat of dictatorship.
If anything, it was behind the scenes as a bug.
God dang. They really had to work to get us to go with this stuff or whatever the stuff was going on back then. So yeah, to now have it be like this is another thing. And you know, technology affecting industries way, like there's whole careers that don't exist anymore. Oh my gosh, right? And whole careers that are being formed right now like we could never imagine. Right. Like I just saw we're hiring on was it like Google or Microsoft or something like that, and it was for like an AI tech, somebody who could help to create prompts for an AI person or something like that. I was like, a prompter. Yeah, literally. I'm like, bro, what? That's crazy. That's crazy. Crazy. That's the future of jobs. AI prompter. We're just giving the AI all of our information just for real. They could take over. Just willingly. They do help. I will say, it is a nice tool to have. But I still have this. There are things. This like, I don't want to get too close to it. Yeah, I get you. That's just how I feel about it. I think there's a balance too, because some people rely way too heavily, like to where your critical thinking skills are now so lacking. Seen somebody post like, I asked Chat GPT for dinner ideas. Honey, you asked Chat GPT what you should eat? What should I have for dinner, Chat GPT? Huh? If I'm Chat GPT, girl, what do you have? What? Did they like drop in and eat something? Like, what are you talking about? Were they dropping in? No, he said dinner ideas. What to eat for dinner? And I mean, I guess because if you were like never thought ever in your adult life, he was an adult. He was not 19, fresh in college. No, this was a grown man. And I'm like, okay, maybe he's not cooked for himself. Maybe someone else has cooked for him. Maybe he's divorced. I don't know. Just moved. I don't know why you would need ideas on what a human should eat for dinner. Like, and you've eaten dinner. Like, if you've made it to 30-something years old, you've eaten dinners. You've eaten a lot of dinners. You've eaten plenty of dinners. You've eaten plenty of dinners independent from your mom and dad and whoever raised you. Outside of your nuclear family, you have eaten a dinner solo. You've been to a restaurant. You've been to a friend's house. You've been to a barbecue, probably. Yeah. You've been over. You've had friends cook. You know people who do cook food. You know what food is. Like, what? But I'm like, what do you like to eat? Was he giving food items? It was like, Chappie, do you have marshmallows and bread in my kitchen? What should I have out of this? Saying, what's a good thing to eat for dinner? Huh. Yeah. What should I make for dinner? And then it gives him like a bunch of suggestions. Yeah. A part of maturing and getting older. You know what I mean? Sometimes just because you get older doesn't mean you can use your mature mind to really like make those kinds of decisions for yourself. Yeah, I guess it can be overwhelming. I don't know. I was just like, that's the type of stuff that I feel like, okay, with Chat GPT, if you start asking it, you just stop thinking. Because I feel like, do you remember in school when the teachers would be like, you need to learn how to do this math with no calculator, like, because in the real world, you ain't gonna have a calculator. Cut to, there's always a calculator. Or someone in the room has, like, if you have your phone, you have a calculator. Now I never have to show my work ever again. None of this. What work? It's like, what? For why? I can free up that brain space for something else. Exactly. It's all like, is that what we're evolving to? Like, is that what it's gonna be? It's like, oh, this menial stuff. Like, yeah, what I should eat for dinner. I don't even have to think about it. Chat GPT, the computer just automatically just makes something and I eat it. Like, I don't know. It just feels like ChatGPT. I like creating. Maybe there are people who don't. You know, that's like true. Making stuff. Some people have lean more in the artistic side of their brain, and some don't. Yeah, you don't have like imagination, and you need ChatGPT to help you with.
Oh,
making
shoot.
something. That's a different reality.
Look, okay.
But yeah, that's how I feel. Don't get too reliant on AI. Like you can't. You gotta think about something.
Mm-hmm.
Now I sound like the math teacher. Like there ain't always gonna be Chat GPT. You ain't always gonna have the AI with you.
You never know what's gonna happen.
Keep thinking for yourself.
Yeah.
Don't let the AI think for you. And then like my kids are gonna be like, I don't need to go to school. Chat GPT knows everything. Or
I just put this little dot on the side of my head and I know everything.
I don't even have to think about anything. It's just all here.
I don't even think.
How do you think?
What's a brainstorm? Like
idea. What's an idea?
What is that?
Why do people say that?
Google.
What is an idea?
Download ideas. It's gonna be straight like that, bro. Like crazy. Look, I wonder if
oh my god.
You know how we're talking about like this is so dumb. But you know how we're talking about maturity and getting older. I'm like, you know the whole Shannon Sharpe thing?
Girl.
I wonder
definitely had this down here to talk about because
I wonder if Shannon Sharpe asked, what do I say when I get in trouble? What should I put up as my note on Instagram? Cause like what was that response?
Somebody else
are you not famous and rich? Why don't you have somebody, an official person who is writing your statements for you? Because this was crazy. None of what you said on that statement made me feel like you didn't do that shit. I don't know. I'm sorry. See, and this man is 55, facing a $50 million lawsuit for this sexual misconduct
with this girl that was 19 when he met her.
There it is. 19-year-old OnlyFans girl. And he said he met her at the gym. Now, Shannon.
No, you didn't.
If I could zoom in through this audio and from here on the camera, I'd want it to zoom all the way up onto my face so I could be like, now, Shannon, we all know you did not meet this little 19-year-old OnlyFans girl
at the gym.
So,
look, even if you did, this whole thing is screaming, I am stupid. I'm sorry. That's the vibe I'm getting. Like, you're clearly not smart. Because at the end of the day, true, we don't know what happened. But it looks like whatever she said you did, you probably did.
Because you're not fighting none of that.
The only thing that I'm hearing of, like you said, all the jumble that's coming out of him saying, it doesn't sound like he's saying you're lying. He's saying, hey, there's more context.
Right. That.
So like, you know, like one of the things that literally made me like, I need to get off the line, was this video of him literally addressing the situation, looking straight into camera, and he says like, yeah, they have this sex tape clip that's, you know, it's only 10 seconds. I tell them, you know, put the whole tape out.
Oh.
I don't have it, or I would do it myself.
I'm gonna be honest, Shannon Sharpe was never the sharpest tool in the shed.
Because what? You shot a sex tape with someone and you don't have it? You don't have at least a copy? Like, you don't have the sex tape that you made with this? What?
Come on. What?
Why would you not have it?
I don't.
Even if both y'all have it, why would you not have it?
Knowing who you are.
Reckless and stupid. Again, it just seems really dumb.
See, again, people who don't difference between aging and maturing.
Because what?
Because what?
Yeah, why are you 54 wanting to talk to a 19-year-old? What do you have in common? I'm 31. A 19-year-old? I have nephews older than that. Like, I'm not. What are we? You're a kid.
Literally, her age still has teen in it.
You're a kid. I'm going to laugh at you if you're like, hey, girl. Like, boy.
Bye.
I'm like, what? You need to go somewhere. Like, what? Ha, ha, ha. What is this? What are we talking about? And I hate the whole excuse, because you know, there's a lot of older men. It's usually older men that say like, oh, you know, I like dating younger women because they have less baggage or this, that. The real is that you never took accountability for any of your stuff. You're living in your cycle. And eventually people get tired of that. Yeah. And once people have experienced that enough, you have enough life experience, you know what a cycle looks like way earlier than when you're young.
That's true.
Because it could take you a decade to figure that out if it's your first relationship, or even with friends, your first friendship, your first time encountering somebody that's just like, okay, girl, you keep tripping yourself and wondering why you can't get up. I'm seeing it. It's very clear. You're choosing not to see it at this point. I cannot keep participating. And again, experience teaches you that. But when you're young, you're 19, 20, you don't understand, you don't have that much experience, it's real easy for someone to convince you that that's normal, for them to act like that, or for you to feel like maybe they don't even say that, but you feel like it's normal because you don't have anything to compare it to. And that's why they like the younger, less experienced women, especially, is
that power dynamic,
or just people in general. Like, you like the power dynamic. You're the older person with this younger, less experienced person, and you running laps around them,
right? Because you know you can.
To a certain point,
right?
Because all you got on them is experience, and they're gonna get it, and they're gonna figure it out, and they're gonna be like, bye.
Because literally, the girl now, she's over here about to come up on some millies.
And like, I say, give the girl her money.
Give her her money.
Give her
Wasn't
money,
he just saying he was prepared to offer like 10 mil?
Yeah, and she declined it
because and you know what that says? She got some shit on you, honey. She got some shit on you. And I think she also wants some fucking justice. That's what I think she wants. Some money, because she knows she can take that ass down. If you say no to $10 million and you're a young ass OnlyFans girl, I just feel like that says you got some shit.
And they already put out like phone audio of him saying he's gonna choke her. Like,
that's not funny.
Like, it's not funny, but it's like,
what?
You maybe could. Look, we don't know, right? We know nothing. But this is just, and the craziest thing about it is it's so silly that it's like it all could have been avoided.
It all could have been avoided
if you could have been accountable.
Exactly.
If you could have been accountable, and when somebody told you stop, they no longer want to do this. If you just were like, yeah, let me just stop, because even if you're just playing the role, like, that's why that type of stuff is dangerous. I'm not saying that they were doing that, because who knows? That's his version. His version of it is, they had this consensual dom submissive kind of dynamic, and he talked to her like that and was aggressive with her because she wanted him to, and it was all consensual. And I feel like, was it, or was it like sexually consensual, and then you took it into like that every day
shit, right?
You took it too far.
Yes.
And then at one point she was like, wait, well, I don't want this. Chill out. Can you stop?
Yeah,
that's what I think probably happened. But again,
I agree.
Who knows?
I feel like I like that take, because I've heard some, we're grown, we've all been in those situations. I feel like the difference between a I'll choke you and a bitch I will choke you kind of vibe, you know what I mean? Yeah, like, I think we all know. And the way that sounded, because I heard the little thing, it didn't really sound like a fun one. It sounded like a scary one.
And I know there are dominant and submissive, like it's not even always just about sex. It is kind of like, I want to be abused and I'm paying a dom to kind of do things that would be considered abusive. But I don't know. I know that there's a way to do it. Yeah. I know that it is its own community, and there are obviously boundaries with that to make it something where you're not, I don't know, like there's intentionality behind it, where you're not actually trying to abuse this person. You're doing what they're asking you to do, not if they tell you to stop. Like, there's always that point of like, okay, you want it to go this far, so it will only go this far,
right? And
it seems like even if this is what you've done, which we don't know, that they had this dom and submissive relationship, but even when you have those, it's a relationship, and it's something that relies heavily on trust and like accountability and boundaries. Like, if someone says stop, you at least got to check in and be like, is that a real stop? Are you good?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Do we have a safe word in this situationship? Like, where we can call cut?
Do we all know the limits? And are we all respecting them? Right. So anyway, like I said, I don't think he's smart enough, evolved enough, mature enough to be in a relationship like that.
Not at all.
And if they were, this is probably showing that. Where it's like, you took it too far. You heard her say that, and you heard, you have full control to just abuse me whenever you want. And that's like,
yikes.
You're trying to, you're framing it away. You're trying to tear her down. And then for me, the whole thing, okay, yeah. OnlyFans. She did OnlyFans. Okay, sure. That's what she did.
Get your money, girl.
But you paid her. Like, you, like, and I hate when people do that.
It's a service.
I hate when people do that. Like, Drake and his baby mom being like a porn star. You loved that about her.
Yeah.
That is probably what drew you to her. But now that you have this kid and people are finding out about it, now you're now it's a bad thing. Now you're demeaning her, making it seem like you were embarrassed of her and all these types of things. And it's like,
that's what you wanted. Like, you wanted it so much.
You participated in, though. You chose this. Like, you
had a baby with her. Yeah. So
own your stuff. Don't drag this person because of how so-and-so's looking at you or talking about you. Like, you gotta, this is your thing. Don't try to put it on this person. And it's so easy for the men to do that to the women. It's so easy for that to happen. It's so easy for it to just, this is your fault for being on OnlyFans.
Or the Scarlet A method or whatever, you know what I mean?
That's what you get. Like, no, I don't think that's what she gets. I think that's what he get for being weird. Look, and being stupid. That's what I think. I think that's what you get. That's what you get.
Yes. And you know what? Speaking of immature people who be trying to put motherfuckers in their place.
Oh my God.
The Shadeur Sanders situation.
Girl.
Okay. So.
Because, this situation is crazy. That prank phone call he got.
The prank phone call. So I just learned about the whole Shadeur Sanders, because I'm not a big NFL girly. I'm not really a big sports girly, to be honest. I support it. I'll go watch it live and in person, but I have no idea what's going on, right? So, like, I feel like for other girls out there who like me, basically, so Shadeur Sanders is Deion Sanders' son. Hey. And he was supposed to be the top draft pick for this year's draft, NFL draft.
Oh, he was supposed to be the top? I don't know.
Or top first round pick. First draft pick.
Okay.
Yes. He's like, right now, I guess he's like pinned to the NFL's Instagram page. Before the draft, he was like a pinned post on their page.
Dang, like, he got picked 155.
Yes.
So that wasn't expected, I'm sure.
Because, like, basically, he got hella media. Like, he was in all these interviews and people, I guess, took it as him being cocky and arrogant and all these things that I feel like athletes are. But for some reason, they felt like he need to be humbled in some way or another.
See, and what I know about Deion Sanders is he was kind of known for being real boisterous. Like, he was like that.
Really?
Yeah. So, maybe it's a little bit of the, like, this is your father, and it's a little bit of that too. And it was real easy to put him in that box because of who his dad is. Prime time.
Yeah. But he was amazing. He's like an NFL legend. Talented. So it's like, and his son is killing. So it's like, why wouldn't y'all want to let this dope ass young athlete talk his shit, pop his shit, because he can?
So much racism in the NFL. It's pretty bad. In all sports, really, but NFL is pretty bad.
So because while he was waiting for this draft, for his name to be called, he kept getting skipped over. And finally, in that whole between time, while everybody's trying to figure out, like, where's he going to go? Why is this taking so long? What the fuck is happening? This boy, excuse me, man.
Yeah, 21-year-old man.
Jack's old brick prank called him, streamed it or recorded it, and prank called Shadeur saying, "Oh, you've been drafted," or whatever by
the New Orleans. Yeah, he said, I'm with the New Orleans Saints. So he like impersonated somebody from the New Orleans Saints and said, like, we're gonna pick you. You just have to wait. Like, we're gonna pick you next. And then, of course, he didn't get picked next because it was a prank call. And the boy ended up being the defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons. It was his son.
Right.
That weirdly, the stuff that I've seen, it was written as like he unintentionally, accidentally looked at this iPad and wrote down Shadeur's phone number.
How do you do that on accident?
How's that unintentional? What are you talking about?
Seems very intentional. You set up a camera on the tripod to record yourself calling this number that you
called the
received.
number, impersonated somebody, and played games. Like, that was all intentional. But he unintentionally looked at his dad's iPad, wrote down the number, and that's how he was able to call Shadeur on that draft day. And yeah, what I will say about that is the Falcons were fined $250,000 by the NFL for that. And the defensive coordinator himself was fined $100,000.
Seemed like it should be more. But still, that's a lot.
I feel like, I'm going to be honest, I don't know how good of a defensive coordinator he is.
Okay.
Because I don't know.
Okay.
But I feel like you should lose your job for that.
That's how I feel.
Like, and that's why it's very bold of that boy. One, what do you have against Shadeur? Why would you want to do that to somebody on such a day? Like, are you a hater? What? I mean, yeah, you are. You're a hater for that. That was some hater shit. Like, That was hater. Real hater of you. And also, like, 21, they're calling him a kid.
Right.
But that's the whole thing. He's just this 21-year-old kid. He did a prank. Went too far. Like, no, I think the prank's been going far. YouTube and people being weird. That wasn't a prank.
Come on.
You just did a rude thing.
Right.
And I hate how that's like, that's a prank. Someone, going up to people at the grocery store and throwing stuff at them. Like, that's a prank. How is that a prank? You just threw something at somebody. You just did something rude as fuck. How is that a prank?
Hella mean. Like, just, bro.
It's not a prank because you really threw the shit at me. Like,
you really were trying to make me feel bad. You were being a bully,
you
honestly.
Hit me with something. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a pillow. You threw a pillow at me in the store at the Costco.
Right. What? Why the fuck did you do that?
What are you doing?
And if I was bruh's dad, I'd be so disappointed in my son. I'd be like, bro, not only are you a grown man acting like a child,
you did this and it's affecting my job. Because he's like, you got fined $100K, but your job, they're like, bro, what are you doing?
It would make me feel like a bad parent. Like, what did I do to raise you to act like this? Like,
because what was the point?
What was the point?
What did you get from that?
You're mean. I raised a mean ass kid.
You're 21 years old. You're bullying people for no reason.
It made me feel like I raised a mean kid who grew up to be a mean man.
Okay,
like, what the fuck? And Shadeur,
and then you're dumb because why would you post that?
Right, like, you wanted some clout
to track you down because you recorded your.
You want some clout real bad, didn't you?
That was crazy.
You was dry.
That was crazy, bro.
That was crazy. And are they the same age, Shadeur and the guy, Jax?
I'm not sure. Probably around the same age, though. You're thinking a few years in college. Probably 21, 20.
See?
19. No younger than 19, I'm sure.
He put out that damn apology, and everybody was, like you said,
helped him with it. Yeah.
Right, definitely. And everybody, like you said, was doing the boy thing and da-da-da. I just feel like it's just so interesting. And he was like, thanks, Shadeur, for taking my call or whatever. And I'm like, right there, the difference between maturity and your age.
Because, yeah, even Shadeur put a statement out saying like, oh, yeah, people make prank calls. We've all done it. This was just, kind of messed up. But, hey, it is what it is. He was real gracious about it, which you kind of have to be, And I hate that those situations, once something's so public and, like you said, people have already making him seem like he's an asshole, trying to put that on him. So he probably was just like, I don't want to like go crazy on this person. So let me just put my little statement out. Maybe someone put the statement out for him. I feel like if I'm in that situation, something Shannon Sharpe should have done is like, can you go ahead and type me a statement of saying you're not me and I'm fucking really upset about this.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to come across about that because I'll get over it. So just put a statement out like, yeah, that's crazy. I can't believe he did that. But, hey,
it happens.
People do stuff. It's, we got to just keep moving on. That's the energy you want to give out. If you're mature, you want to give that energy out.
Yes.
Because I know for me, anything that's too raw, I end up being like, dang, I wish I wouldn't have. I wish I would have let things settle before I said something. So it looks like either he settled and said something or, someone helped him out with that. And I'm glad to see that it seems like he has some good things going. I seen like his jersey's like number 3 right now on the Cleveland Browns too, and that's like kind of not the best team.
Yeah.
Who knows? It'll probably be better now. They got him.
So. Hey, exactly. Everything happens for a reason. And something that I really thought was cool is I was like, see, like you just said, when you wait a little bit, like when you take the more mature route and you wait just a second to let things fizzle out and let your dad's money do the work and get that PR team on deck.
Exactly.
Then you get to shut the fuck up, say something, spin this whole moment on its head, because the whole thing even like started because folks thought they needed to fucking humble you because you were too cocky.
Right.
Then you fell down, you got made fun of and handled it like a champ, and now you're over here. He just launched a fucking partnership with Delta.
See?
You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. His jersey's number 3 now.
Yeah. It's like I was saying earlier, those drought seasons, those seasons of feeling lack usually bring about some cool things on the other side, you know?
Yes.
Got to keep walking through that desert, even though it is hot and dry. So shout out to Shadeur for doing that at such a young age, you know?
Yeah.
One's a 21-year-old kid and he's doing prank calls. One is a 20-year-old kid and he's handling things. Yes. And again, sometimes like our maturity is understanding that I can't handle this and I need help.
Hello.
And that is all okay. That's what we call radical acceptance. I accept myself and know my limits. They're not weaknesses, they're just limits.
Yes. And this can...
Let me ask for help with this math. No,
whatever
it is, let me just... Who knows this? You do. Hey, can I ask you?
Mm-hmm.
Can you help?
And it's moments like that, I think, Tosh, to bring it all the way back around, it's moments like that like I think how you were sharing, breaking out of that cycle, how you finally stopped hitting the head against the wall and was like, I'm gonna walk through a door instead. I feel like stuff like that creates those moments and opportunities.
It does. It does. Those moments of like extreme.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, I got to do something. I've never been here before, but well, let's figure something out.
Yeah, truly.
So yeah, taking that time and again, that accountability. I know when it comes to growing up and maturing and being an adult, all those things, a lot of us associate it with, you know, getting a job and paying bills and, you know, doing your career and maybe even having kids, maybe getting married. It's like all those things, but it's the internal personal things that those things will catapult you.
Yep.
Because you can't have kids and then just be a kid. I mean, I guess you can.
But you can.
Should you?
No. Is it the funnest thing?
You know, you ain't gonna really, really be able to be a kid because now you're raising a kid. So those things catapult you to a different level. But not all the time. Like, again, that's not guaranteed for everybody.
Exactly.
You know, even in those moments, you do have to decide that that is the way you're going to go.
Yes.
Of rising to the occasion of, again, that accountability and taking stock of like, okay, I did something to get here, or I did something. I was present in this situation. What can I, you know, consider?
Yeah.
What can I rethink? What can I, you know, take responsibility for?
Exactly.
It's the hard part.
That's the hardest.
But it's actually stepping into your power.
Like, it is.
It's so empowering, right? It's so empowering to be like, oh my God, you know, I did that. Like I said, I be fucking up. There's power in that.
There is. Being able to admit that, it really does. It shows you when you're able to see and accept your weaknesses, that means that you know where you're strong. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You know, you can only be the strongest version of you once you patch up the holes, right?
Yeah,
like, damn. And in order to patch them up, you got to find them. So
that part. So yeah, let us know. How do you feel? Do you feel like you're growing up, maturing, or do you feel like you're just aging?
Yeah. Hey, or maybe a little both.
Maybe a little bit of both. You know, we all have our moments.
Right.
True to that. Let us know where you think you guys are, or if you struggle with a relationship with a person who, I don't know, maybe they ain't maturing at the same rate, or maybe it's a family member and it's hard to talk to them. Let us know, because all those things, once you do reach that point of like, let me be accountable for me, when other people are not accountable for them, whoo, honey, it's real obvious and it's real frustrating.
Yeah, for sure.
Or it can be frustrating. And we're about to get into this listener letter.
Let's do it.
It has been a while. So this person wishes to remain anonymous. I'll say that. So I'm not going to say their name. But here's the letter.
Okay.
Hey, How to Be Real. First of all, I want to preface this by saying I understand people have different styles, and I want everyone to be their own expression of themselves. That being said, I need to find a polite and respectful way to be honest with this friend. Her eyebrows are constantly overfilled in different shapes. She uses black eyeshadow and she's blonde. Her eyeliner is very poorly done. Bottom eyeliner that's shaky below her lashes, and top liner is also poorly applied. It's gotten to the point where it looks like a child applied the makeup. I feel so cruel even saying that, but to be frank, she's embarrassing herself when she's already insecure.
Oh.
I can't take it. She's even gotten an HR talking to about her makeup being unprofessional.
Ooh.
But she thought that the answer was to replace her bright red lip with a coral pink. And I don't know how to help her at this point, besides being honest. So, if you were me, how would you approach this subject? Do I let it go and wait for her to figure it out? Or do I just tell her straight up?
Ooh-wee. Well, we know what you think.
Oh my
Damn.
God. I wish this person's...
And she's blonde.
said their age.
Right.
Because I remember in high school, I bought this bronzer, but I was using it as blush. And so I was like putting it on like it was blush. And one day one of my friends was like, you know that's bronzer, not blush. And I was like, and she was like, yeah, that's why it looks bronze. That's why it looks like that. And I went home and was like, oh my God. Like, have you seen those things about like blush blindness?
Yes.
Eyebrow blindness. It seems like homegirl has eyebrow, eyeliner, lipstick blindness.
Makeup blindness. She has makeup blindness. Yeah. Damn.
But I will personally say, and granted, I was young, I was in high school, I don't know. I think I'd be more understanding now. I think as long as you're not like, she walks into work and you're like, hey, girl, I need to talk to you about your makeup. That's not the place. Yeah, now she's at work. What is she supposed to do? Wash her face and not have any makeup on at work? No one wants to do that.
Right.
It has to be maybe y'all go out after work. You know, a setting where maybe not out. Maybe
I was going to say, like,
or maybe you go to her house.
Yeah.
Maybe you...
Something like...
I don't know. Like, is there a polite way to be like, girl, your makeup is so bad?
I feel like...
that friend just... She didn't say, this looks bad. She just was like, that's bronzer. That's why it's... Right. Like, that's not blush.
Right.
It looks like you're using bronzer as blush. And she said that, and it wasn't like, it looks bad or anything like that. But once she said that, I noticed that, like, bro, yeah, this is not... I'm using this wrong.
Yeah, you know, I feel like a kind way and a way to get to know your friend more could be like asking her about how she feels about her makeup. You know what I mean? Like, how does your makeup style like make you feel, or like how do you want it to make you feel? Like, kind of like, you know, like getting curious about it, because if she knows what she's doing and she's just like choosing to, she's like, hey, I fuck with how I do my makeup and that's why I do it. You know what I mean? Then it could be an artistic expression, even if it's ugly as hell. Like,
yeah. So true. Some people like the really over exaggerated, like chiseled eyebrows.
Yeah.
I feel
and
like
the bright ass colors.
I feel like I went through a strong eyebrow phase myself of just making sure they were so
we all do.
Perfect. Yes. Do you remember that phase where it was like one eyebrow faded into the other? Yeah. Like, it was so precise, and people doing them lines to make sure they get it all mathematically. That looks so crazy, especially now. I didn't really like it then, but now it's
I
like,
never.
Bro, what are you doing?
With the concealer directly under it to really sharpen them lines? Yeah.
And some people like that.
Some people love that.
That's
still to this day.
Look. So maybe that's what she's going for. And I think that's a good idea. Like, how do you feel like, you know, how do you feel about your makeup? Or like, who's your makeup icons? Like, maybe I start those like, oh my God, her makeup. Did you see that movie? Her makeup was so cute in that. Like, I always try to get my wing to look like that.
Yeah.
What about you? Who's like your makeup
Yes. And if she's like, my makeup icon is like an Amy Winehouse type, you know what I mean?
And then you know what she's going for.
You know what she's going for. But even Amy had like a way of doing it to where it's like, okay, like this is your style and we're making your style like more kind of just better. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like cleaner, sharper for you and your look. And maybe if you got it like that, maybe for her birthday or Christmas or something like that, you could be like, hey, now that I know who your makeup icon is, maybe I found this girl on Instagram who does makeup like this, and get her a makeover. You know what I mean? Like, be like, I hired her to do your birthday makeup, and you can find out to see, like,
okay,
you know,
do birthday makeup sounds better than makeover.
Yeah, birthday. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Those daytime TV shows would be like, what are we giving mom for Mother's Day? A makeover. It's like, oh my god.
Like, do you think I'm just fucking?
I feel like, did she ask for if she asked for the makeover, give her the makeover. But do not just do your mom and be like, to show our appreciation, we're gonna put you on TV and everyone's gonna see you go from drab to fabulous. Like
drab to fab.
Because it would always be something like that. Like, oh my god, watch us change this mom's life from bringing her, from down to up.
Yes.
All those things. And it's like,
that's true.
I'm feeling bad for them moms. Like,
same. Because there's a clear difference between getting you ready to go out on a night out on the town and giving you a makeover.
Okay.
So you're right.
And after. Like, don't do that.
Because I feel like if you do that, hire a makeup artist, and maybe to not make her feel like left out or whatever, it could be like hired a makeup artist for you and her, you know what I mean? To like do some. And then you can let her see what like the top-notch version of what her makeup could look like would be. You know what I mean?
Or like, even those questions can start making her pay more attention.
Mm-hmm. Especially,
or you could be even more subtle and be like, okay, say she likes the Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
Maybe you do find that makeup artist that does Amy Winehouse makeup, and you could be like, oh my god, girl, you told me you like this makeup. Look at this girl. She be doing these looks. These are cool. Look at these.
Put her
and it's
on.
Just really on like, was thinking about something you said, and it seems a little more, I'm planting seeds.
Yes.
Because a lot of the times, like you said, this person's already insecure, which, we all are.
Yeah, right.
So
right. Mm-hmm.
We all know. Telling somebody, because again, homegirl, I'm a teen. So she told me that, and I definitely felt like that little Pikachu meme where his little mouth is open, like, oh, okay,
you just read me.
Went to the bathroom and like went like this with tissue. Like, let me try to get this bronzer to not be so bright. I can't get it off, but I definitely can pat her down. And
it's like someone took the blinders off. And you're like, oh,
every time I look in the mirror, I just see bronzer. Like, oh my god, I'm so bronzed. I don't like this.
This morning you felt like that girl.
Yes.
And now this afternoon it's like the blinders done came off. You're like, damn, oh shit, I look like crazy.
And then I did used to like blush. Like my blush would be, and I think that was the thing back then. Blush wasn't hella blended. It was very much like, you see this. I want you to see.
I'm wearing blush.
It's blush.
Yeah.
With shimmer in it.
Yeah. So there it is. But yeah, I like that idea. So those are two pretty good. One that's a little bit more overt, and one that's like, hey, look. So you have options.
Yeah. Especially because we don't know your rapport.
Exactly.
Coworker. Again, rapport be everything. If you have the rapport, you can be real.
Yes.
Like that friend. That was my friend. Right. She literally just told me, like, girl,
hey girl, how are you?
Bronzer.
That's bronzer.
I was like, oh.
Let me.
And then I went home and read it. Girl, sure enough. Bronzer.
Girl.
I don't know why. Yeah, I didn't know.
Didn't know. And sometimes folks just, I don't know though, because like you said that HR had to talk to her. So it's like.
I know. That's like another element. Like imagine HR telling you your makeup is unprofessional.
Like
your makeup is unprofessional.
And she thought it was the red lip, so she went for hot pink. Like.
And it was, I feel like coral lipstick.
Or coral, yeah.
I don't think coral lipstick looks good on anyone. Unless you're like adding
coral's the more nudie one.
It's like a nude, pale, orangish pink. And I think it's really a bright, bright color. That if your makeup is already, I will just even say this about lipstick as a whole. If you're not sure about your makeup, adding lipstick, for me, adding lipstick is going to be like, whoa, now I look like a clown. Let me take this down. If you're not sure about the makeup look, lip gloss.
Gloss it up, honey.
Chapstick.
Yeah.
Don't go harder. Don't go more bold.
When in doubt, CarMax it out.
Okay.
Burt's Bees.
Tone everything else down. If you feel like your eyebrows are doing all, because for me, then makeup looks where everything is its own.
Is just so bold.
It's like, God, okay, girl. This face is walking in the room before you do.
Mm-hmm.
Too much.
Yeah. And that could be a conversation starter too. If you've already talked about it before, you already know her business.
HR, yeah. Like, you guys must have some rapport.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what do you think it is? And it's like, I think it's the red lip. So I'm going to do coral. Not I'm going to take away the red lip. Yeah. I'm going to switch to coral.
Yeah. And I feel like sometimes being a good friend means having difficult conversations, but like when those difficult conversations are rooted in love and honesty, I think you can come out better for it.
Kindness.
You know,
like you try to do it in the most like considerate way possible. I'm considering your feelings
exactly
when I say this.
Exactly.
Like, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. Mm-hmm. The eyeliner, stop.
Please,
just don't do it.
Right. And like, if you're gonna do something, like have, like Tasha mentioned, have some easy to follow solutions in the back pocket. So you could be like, and I feel like try not to do it as backhanded complimentary as possible. Like Tasha said, just kindness. How would you want somebody to tell you something like this?
Maybe again,
soft
seed planty and curiosity. Lean into the curiosity of like, I am curious. What do you think HR was talking about? Yeah. How do you feel about this? And like, what I loved what you said about like, what is your, makeup look? Mm-hmm. Like, who's your, like, I think I said that. Who's your makeup inspo?
Yeah. What's your style?
Yeah.
Like,
what are you going for when you do your makeup?
Because you clearly love the bold, but like, what about the bold are you loving? Like, because what are you imagining you want this to look like?
Or what are you seeing when you're done? You're like, yeah, cool. Because we all have that. You do your makeup, you look back, okay, yeah.
This is good.
Spray the setting spray.
Yep. Lock it in.
Right. We all have that. So what is that for you, girl?
Yeah.
Or even ask her, is there a picture of you where you feel like your makeup is like A1?
Yes.
Your favorite picture of yourself. And that could also let you know, like, oh, okay, your makeup does look cute here. Mm-hmm. That's not what you're doing when you come to work. That is not what you're doing.
Let's get you back to here. But yeah, in the nice way, in the kind way, in the sweet way.
Or whatever way y'all be talking to each other.
Exactly.
Because some people are real. But if you're asking, should I tell her straight up? Probably not. Beat around that bush, girl.
Beat around that bush that leads to the direct, okay?
Like, get curious, plant the seeds, take your time. And honestly,
play the long game.
Go lean into the like, wait for her to figure it out, but also try to lean it.
Yeah.
Take a social media picture, post it.
There you go.
But also, one of the things too, if she likes it.
Yeah.
Hey.
Ooh, what if you did like y'all did some pictures and made a fun, like, cool thing out of it. Like, you found out which makeup looks you really like, your top 3 or her top 3, and put online like, hey guys, I'm looking to change my makeup up. Like, which one should I do? A, B, or C? And it's like pictures of your top 3 faves.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you can kind of like let the audience speak. You know what I mean? Like, that could go bad though. But if it was just a poll, you know what I mean? Like, and not on.
Wait, is it like, homegirls makeup? Or is it just like inspo pics? Okay, I was gonna say, because like, it's like, which one of these looks do you like? And it's homegirl with the coral.
No,
like, are they gonna? Or don't do that, because people can be so mean.
Don't do that.
My God.
But if you're like, hey girl, let's if she's like, these are my top 3, and you could be like, all right, well, let's let your followers decide or something like that. Like, then you could be like, hey, so I'm going after these 3 looks. Here's fucking, Nia Long, Gabrielle Union, Amy Winehouse. I don't know. These are so random.
Right.
But like, and it's the pictures of them, and then your audience can choose A, B, or C.
Yeah, like, this is when we like, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe don't.
I feel like letting social media in on things tends to get a little messy.
Don't listen to me.
Because you could say something
it's
like,
an option.
One of my friends is looking for makeup inspo, and someone in the comments is like, oh, I know exactly who you're talking about. It's about time. Dang, Brenda. Like...
But what if you had her post it on her page? Like, encourage her to post it on her page.
That's a question. It doesn't say. Is she posting online?
I don't know. You're
in these makeup looks?
I just imagine everybody's just.
Do you guys know each other outside of work? Because you know about the HR blowback, but you don't know. Because I feel like if HR is saying that your makeup is unprofessional and you're also a blonde woman, which I'm assuming is probably white, your makeup is cray. Because I know they'll say that if you have like big lashes, and that's what I thought. That's why I thought this was going. Like maybe it's lashes, and so people will, say like it's unprofessional to have really long lashes, which I don't know how I feel about that. But I do feel like any makeup that's like, if you're working with people, right? Yeah. You're a nurse. You're the first person at the counter when people walk up. You're customer service. If your makeup is like
the kind of makeup that people were like, I secretly want to be a vampire type shit. Like they be cosplaying as vamps on the weekend. Shit.
Oh my god, because we've all seen that.
They be wearing the pointy elf ears. You know those people who love being elves and shit? Like,
I'm not even mad at the elves. For me, the stuff that got me here is eyeliner being poorly done and it's bottom eyeliner. That's underneath her lashes.
Girl.
And eyebrows being overfilled in different shapes. Different shapes, she's trying it out.
See what
works.
That's what I'm like.
Maybe when you see one that's cute, be like, girl, your eyebrows today are so cute.
I love shape.
Those eyebrows today. Mm-hmm. Maybe try that. When you're liking it, maybe it's not like, yes, this, but also like a little bit of affirmation. Don't say when it looks bad, but when it looks good, one thing, if it's a lipstick color, like that lipstick color looks great.
There you go.
That looks good.
Yes.
This blush today, girl,
fire.
Cute. The way you blended it, so cute. Mm-hmm. The pieces that you can compliment in any way, do that.
Yeah.
Because people love that.
They do. Because at the end of the day, people, especially folks who do their makeup in that way, they're just looking to express. You know what I mean?
She's trying it out. Different shaped eyebrows means, I don't know what shape my eyebrows.
Yeah.
I don't know what shape my eyebrows. I've changed my eyebrow shape up a little bit.
Right.
We've all done that.
Shit.
But yeah, yeah, I guess consensus, don't be straight up.
Yeah.
Be kind and take your time with it. Mm-hmm. And definitely consider some of the things we said, but also your friend and yourself. Feel the situation out and do what feels like it makes the most sense for y'all.
For sure.
This is a work friendship and you don't want drama there.
Yeah. Good luck.
Good luck.
And thanks for writing.
And thank you for writing in. Feel free to send your listener letters to heyhowtobereal@gmail.com. We also have an anonymous link if you would prefer to reach out to us there. No email necessary.
Yep.
It's in our bios. We'll put it in the show notes. Mm-hmm. And if you subscribe to our newsletter, it's there as well.
Hello.
So
Substack. Hey.
Yes. And that'll bring us to our thank you.
Yes.
And speaking of newsletter, we are thanking all of our lovely, supportive newsletter subscribers.
Hell yeah.
You guys have been really supportive.
For real.
We are really excited. How to Be Real started with a blog. Mm-hmm. We had a blog to coincide with our podcast back in the day when we were on SoundCloud.
Yep.
And we both really loved writing the blog posts. We took turns, and so
it was a refuge at that time.
Okay, it was so nice, and so we're both excited to jump back into that. We'll be, really diving deeper into some of the subjects we talk about here, or we will talk about whatever we feel like it. Mm-hmm. You'll get a deeper sense if you want to get to know us as people as well.
Yeah.
And then stay connected with us as always, like we like to say.
Yes, please.
If you haven't already, follow us on Substack and subscribe.
Please do on Substack, just like on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok. You can find it at howtobereal or substack.com/howtobereal. Mm-hmm. We're dropping new newsletters once a month, so you want to come on in. And I'm very proud of our 10 subscribers. Like, this is a brand new platform for us. It's a fairly new platform, period. But it's a brand new platform for us. We're still navigating it and figuring it out. And the community over there, just from browsing and looking at the posts and the feed and stuff, is totally different than all other socials that I've experienced up to this point.
Yeah.
They're like actually nice over there, and it reminds me of early social days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Early Instagram. Mm-hmm. A lot of people looking for human connection.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be posting also some pretty like exclusive content to that channel that we aren't posting anywhere else.
Mhm.
So come on over into the early days and let's do it. And you can also find us personally online. I'm at justsay_tay.
And I am at the Tasha B.
Yes, and as Tosh mentioned, if you'd like to send us a listener letter or ask us for, I don't know, any like advice or want to give us some love, you can hit us up in our Gmail. Hey,
As
how to be
always,
real
babes.
at Gmail.
Or DMs or the anonymous link. Whatever.
Exactly. And make sure you give us a comment, a rate, a review on any of these platforms. That would be lovely. It helps us reach more people, connect with more folks, and continue to build this beautiful Real Ones community that we have.
Yes.
And remember, we are not therapists. Mm-hmm. We just have them. Mm-hmm. And this week's Random Reel is on me.
It is. What you got?
So May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we are officially in May now. So I wanted to just drop in a few resources that I've used myself for Mental Health Awareness Month.
Okay.
So the first one is Grow Therapy. It's an online therapy service that is covered by insurance and usually has a really low copay. I've used them before, and they take Anthem. So if you're an Anthem Blue Cross person, come on over. I think the only insurance they don't offer coverage for is Kaiser. Okay. So that's the only thing. But it is a service that, it allows you to look through a whole bunch of different therapists and find, who you need. So Grow Therapy, and also soundedouttogether.org. It's a site for parents who need extra support in talking to their middle school aged kids about their mental health. And they offer a bunch of free resources and games and activities that parents can play with their kids to just help open up that conversation.
Yes.
And they're a great group of people. I've worked with them and they're just really awesome. So that's also a free resource, free site to visit. So feel free to share any other resources that you may know about with us in the DMs, and we can share them on our stories.
Yes.
All throughout
Please
May.
do. And share them with your friends as well. Just, we all we got out here.
Okay. Hey, okay, for real. And with that, stay real.